Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Dev. Today we continue to construct a clone about vegetation versus the undead. Now last time we focused on some basic plants, the pea shooter and the sunflower. Using a cooldown method, we were able to get the pea shooter shooting peas and the sunflower peeing sunlight. And we continued to clone this war by adding the opposition, the undead. That's right, today we're adding the basic zombie enemy to the game, as well as make it interactable with our plants, and bring some real carnage to this backyard battle. So let's not waste any more time and get to the coding. The first thing to do was to draw our zombie. The zombies are slightly taller than the plants, so I went with a 24 pixel high doodle that actually didn't look too bad, all things considered. So with our sprite done, it was time to get to the actual code. I started by making our plants mortal, using the same damage check code we've used multiple times in the past, even all the way down to the flashy pizzazz. I then tried to define the plant's different HP values using an array, similarly to how I defined the rest of the plant's attributes. But unfortunately, tests showed me that wouldn't work, and so I needed to figure out an alternative. I decided the best way to fix this, instead of trying anything convoluted, would be to spawn the plants as invulnerable for one frame, and on the second frame I would both define the plant's HP and also remove the invulnerability at the same time. Thankfully this worked like a charm, and so I decided to add one of the most HP heavy plants to the game, the walnut. I doodled out a nice round brown shape with eyes and a frown, and added it to the plant list object, giving it a hefty amount of HP for the zombies to chew through. Now it was time to work on the actual zombie code. Again, the zombie AI doesn't seem to be necessarily complicated, so I gave them a simple HP variable and tied the direction they're facing to the way that they're walking. I then set up a switch for the different states our zombie could be in, with the default being the walking state. State 1 would be our eating state, where the zombies stop walking and start munching down on the plants in front of them. And to best explain what happens next, I'm gonna have to tell it in the form of a story. There once lived a man who tried to code the simple logic of a plant-eating zombie. The zombie simply had to check for a plant in front of it, and if it does, switch to an eating state and start munching. The man tried a collision line which he held out in front of the zombie like a cane for the blind, but for some reason, even with a plant right in front of it, the zombie wouldn't stop moving forward. Weird. So the man tried a number of ways to check for the plants. He spent a third of the session desperately trying to make anything work, but nothing would do. The zombie just refused to acknowledge the existence of plants. Then suddenly, the man remembered. The plant's attributes were defined on spawn, and despite what GameMaker would have him think, defining a sprite's index through code does not define the object's collision mask. So in other words, the man's collision checking was fine. The problem was he technically kept spawning ghost plants with no collision whatsoever for the zombies to detect. The end. Cue several seconds of frustrated mouse movement to express the insane frustration felt at this very moment. And so, with the mystery solved, the zombies now recognize plants, would attack them until they're gone, and continue moving forward. And to further test this, I added a continuous spawner that would spawn zombies on the grid at random Y positions. And poor doodles aside, it was starting to look a lot more like Plants vs Zombies. But there was one major thing missing. That last line of defense, the lawnmowers. So I drew up a big old gray blob I'm calling a lawnmower and created a new object. I gave the mower of lawns 2 states, the rested idle state it spawns in, and the attack state once a zombie reaches it. I decided to use a collision line to check for zombies, even though that's probably overkill, and once a zombie is near enough, the state would switch to attack, and the mower would mow down anything in its path. I then had them spawned in using a little loop, and there we had it, something much more closer to the actual Plants vs Zombies. And one thing I ended up fixing after I ended recording for the session was making sure lawnmowers only mow down zombies in their lane, which was done with a simple Y-axis check. If the zombies share the same Y-axis as the mower, then that meant they were fair game, leaving zombies in other lanes perfectly fine. And with that, we come to the end of this episode of Let's Dev, and one step closer to a Plants vs. Zombies clone. So remember that if you like this video or enjoy Let's Dev in general, be sure to hit that like button. If you aren't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new episode. And as always, be sure to leave your thoughts on our progress in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.